How old were you when you started wearing makeup and why?
All right. Well, I never wore makeup. When I was in high school, I think I was in 11th grade, I went to modeling school. They gave you the makeup and I had to put it on. I never liked it. And they made me put my eyebrows on real thick. I never liked it. Pop-Pop never liked it. He hated the makeup because when he'd hug me, it would get all over his shirts. And I couldn't wait to get home to wash it off. When I was 16, I started to wear like eyeliner and eyeliner. I would put my mascara on. Yeah. But that was it.
Yeah. But you don't like having makeup on your face.
I don't like makeup, no. And I never used soap on my face. And I'm going to be 82. I never, when I was young, when my mom would soap my face up, I would cry. I said, I don't want it. So we just used the water. I've always used water.
It's probably good for you too because you kept it really simple. You didn't have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's why my skin, it looks good except for my rosacea. So.
Okay. How has your relationship with beauty changed over the years?
The same. I don't like makeup. I don't like the feel of it. Even to hide some of the redness, I went to Sephora with your mom. She kept putting this on. I said, take it off, take it off. I ended up, I didn't get it. I got some white stuff and I don't even use it. No, yeah, I'd rather be bare. So it really hasn't changed.
What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Oh boy. Well, I wish that I would have trusted God more when I was younger. I always believed in God. Ever since I was little, I've always, I just believed in Him, but I didn't let Him take control of my life. I thought I could control everything. And I wish I would have been different, but I was young then, because I was young when I met your papa. And he spoiled me because he left me make all the choices. Yeah. He was always so good to me, so.
How old were you when you met Papa?
14. Never went on a date by myself with them till I was, I think, 16. But then my sister always went along.
And what did you used to do with Papa? What was your thing?
We went dancing all the time. We lived close to a place where we'd go swimming. And the pool was there, and we would go dancing every night. And we'd go for hamburgers, we'd go to the movies, mostly to the drive-ins. But as I got older, we'd gone through hard times. I learned now to be more trusting. And every morning and every night, I give the praise to God and let Him control, control what I do. I try to do what's right, but everybody sins. And the greatest gift is my children. My grandchildren. So that's all I need. I'm so proud of you. And I'm proud of my other grandchildren. And my children. They help me get through every day. So that's all I ask for.
Yeah. Love you.
I love you too.
How old were you when you started wearing makeup and why?
Oh, I think I was probably 15 or 16. So I didn't start too young. And for me, at that time, I wore makeup a couple of reasons. One, I have like light hair, light eyebrows, light eyelashes. So I felt like wearing makeup would help kind of bring my features out more. That's probably the biggest reason, and I think another honest reason is everybody wears makeup, right? Yeah. So back then I had friends that were probably wearing it sooner, and when I hit that age, I thought it was time to start wearing it.
How has your relationship with beauty changed over the years?
Well, I think the older I've gotten, the less reliant I am on makeup. Like when I was younger, in my 20s, 30s, even 40s, like I wouldn't go out of the house without makeup on. Like I at least needed to have mascara on and have like makeup on my eyes. But the older I've gotten, I realize that I feel more comfortable without makeup. I don't kind of carry that baggage all the time of feeling like I have to have makeup on to be able to go out the door. But the reality is I wear makeup to work every day. I'm going to events, I wear makeup. Like I wear makeup most of the time. but I'm able to feel comfortable going out and talking to people without any makeup on or very light makeup on. And the older I'm getting, I'm working on lightening it and trying to get a little bit more natural. But I would never go to work without makeup on.
No.
I just do it a little lighter some days. I'm trying to get lighter, but I've like done this hard line for so long. I'm working on it.
You're so used to seeing yourself with it. And like when you look in the mirror, it like looks weird.
So
it's
I
like
need
something
to.
missing.
I need to like, but I'm working on trying to lighten it more, like so that I wear heavier makeup, like if I'm going to a gala, and more for during work. That I have it a little lighter, but it's hard because I'm so used to exactly how we do my makeup. Like.
Yeah, like every single day.
I need to
you
like.
Get so used to
but
it.
you guys, like you, Grace, you learned so much on YouTube and stuff. Like they didn't have that, so it was like your mom helped me.
Yeah.
Then I kind of figured stuff out on my own, and I like have been doing my makeup the same way forever. But I would like to get lighter with it, and I do. Like if we weren't doing this today, I would have no makeup on today. I would just have a little, like I would have just
a little bit
on my eyebrows and a little on my like eyelashes. But I put makeup on since we were doing this.
Yeah.
But like, see. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable I wouldn't have been comfortable doing this without makeup.
Exactly.
I don't know what the answer to it is. Like we shouldn't have to wear it, but I just
It's
do.
just like something that you start doing when you're so young. When
I'll
do you
stick
think
with
that
it.
changed though, that like you wanted to start wearing less makeup? Like was there a specific thing that made you be like, I don't really want to do this anymore, or is it just like over time?
In my 50s. For me, since I turned 50, I think there's this like mental change in me that I'm closer to the end of my life than the beginning, right?
Yeah.
There's not that, I'm probably not gonna live to be 100, but 50 is this number that I'm kind of like, do I wanna keep spending all this time and have this heavy makeup on? Like, no, I don't. I have more wrinkles, so the makeup kicks in. So that's part of it. But it was something about turning 50 that made me care less.
What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
That's a really good question. I wish I knew when I was 20 not to worry so much about what other people think. The older I've gotten, I realized having kind of confidence in myself and not worrying about so much what everybody else thinks about what I do would have had a positive impact on me when I was younger, because what I've realized over time is that what I think people are thinking about me, they're actually not. Like, it's more self-induced. Like, I'm like, oh, well, what if they think this? Or what if they think this about what I'm wearing or what I'm doing or who I'm inviting or whatever those things are. As I've gotten older, I realize for the most part, people don't even think twice about it, even though and especially when I was younger, but even now I keep thinking of playing it over in my head. So as I was younger, I spent too much time worrying about what other people thought, and the older I've gotten, I've been able to let that go and just kind of be more confident in who I am and the decisions I'm making. And I think that it's like a lot less baggage weighing on my mind because I don't care about that stuff as much now as when I was younger.
How old were you when you started wearing makeup, and why?
Well, I would say I was in probably 8th grade. That is what I remember, like kind of middle school, well, junior high at that time it was called. But yeah, I started wearing makeup because everybody else was starting to wear makeup. And at that time I really, I didn't really feel I was pretty. I felt like kids made fun of me, and I didn't feel really good about my looks. So I was trying to cover it up with makeup as much as I could. And started out pretty simple with just some, foundation, base, and like mascara and maybe some eyeshadow.
How has your relationship with beauty changed over the years?
Well, I think it's always been a tough thing for me, starting out and I think a lot of girls feel this way in like high school, where they just feel like they don't fit in, they don't feel that they're pretty. I think I've always tried to fit in and want to look pretty and want to feel good about myself, and I just feel like I've never felt like I could be myself without makeup. And from that 8th grade girl who started wearing makeup to try to fit in and to try to feel pretty, I feel like I kept doing that all throughout my life, even to now. I don't really ever go out without makeup on, without any makeup. I mean, I always have at minimum, some mascara and a little bit of eye makeup if I don't do anything else. You just get so used to seeing yourself that way that like I don't feel like I look pretty without makeup. I don't feel like I look good without makeup. And so I think beauty is a tough thing, and I think the standards just keep getting higher and higher with social media and all of the editing that gets done to photos that you see out there. But I do think as I've gotten older now, the one thing I will say is I've tried to simplify my routine, simplify my makeup a little bit, and just kind of have it be more minimal and not focus so much on the makeup, because when I was really, you know, in 8th grade, 13 years old, I would look like I had a lot of makeup on. And so I think trying to get it to be more minimalistic is where I'm at now.
What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
I think what I would say there is I wish I knew that I didn't need to worry so much about what other people think of me. I think like I defined myself so much by other people's opinions of me, both from my looks, from anything that I was doing. I was always worried about what other people around were thinking, whether it be, you know, kids in school, people that I worked with, people in my family. You make a lot of decisions in your life based on what you think that other people think. But the reality, and the thing that I think I've learned as I've gotten older, is that, you know, people don't really think about you as much as you think that they do. No. So, you know, you're making a lot of decisions and trying to be perfect and trying to really have other people like you or think highly of you or whatever. And they're so worried about themselves that they're not really thinking about you. So in your mind, you think they're totally fixated on you, and they don't notice, you know, 95% of the things that you notice about yourself. So I think that's probably the thing that I wish I knew then, so that I could make decisions differently and, you know, not waste as much time worrying and making decisions and doing things because I was afraid of what other people thought of me. I have a lot of, you know, anxiety and fears and concerns that really take away from your being able to enjoy the moments that you're in. So I think that's probably the biggest thing for me, kind of being more in the moment, enjoying the relationships and the people that I'm with and the experiences that I'm in, rather than focusing so much on what people think about me.
Is there any other advice or anything else that you have?
Advice for you kids?
Yeah.
Well, I know you do, and I got all the kids' devotionals.
Yeah.
And I always remind them, read it every morning and let God be number one. And everything else will go good during the day. Mm-hmm. Things aren't going to be perfect, but if you learn to do that and read the Bible, even if you read one chapter a day, and give it all to God and give Him the glory and the praise, that's all that I do now. And I wish I would have done that 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, God works in His way to move you in different places.
And I think that's life too.
Yeah.
The longer you walk with God, the more you're gonna understand why.
And you don't, when things go wrong, I never blame God for anything. I always turn to Him. I just hope when it's my time to go with Papa and Shelly, that all my kids and my grandchildren know how much I love them. I'm proud of all of them, and I hope they take some of the good things that I have. So
I think something that I've learned from you as I'm like an adult and growing up is that family, and not even just family, but like the people around you and the people that you love and the experiences and like the life that you're living, that's what's important. That's the most important
that's
thing.
the most. I don't need material things, because that's what I always tried to teach you kids. It doesn't matter what you have, as long as you have love. And I'm glad that we couldn't give them a whole lot, but we gave them love. And I'm thankful that God made me the way He did. Like, I know I get upset when I get the rosacea, but what if I didn't have it, and I wouldn't be the kind of person that you kids would love so much? So I'll stick with the rosacea as long as I have you kids. I wouldn't change anything, except, like I said, I wish I would have trusted God and not. I do worry now, but then when I do it, I say, okay, God, you're in control. I'm not going to worry. And you know I worry about you kids, but I really give it to Him. I wish I would have been like that, like I said, 30, 40 years ago. No matter how you worry and make yourself sick, you're not going to be happy. And that's what I finally,
you figured it out.
5, 6 years, that I'm changing. I want to be happy for you kids, and I want to live as long as God wants me to live. Oh, I love you. I love you, baby.